Hello everyone, welcome to DC Minds. In this video, we are going to learn about a thread synchronization mechanism or locking mechanism called unique lock. In my previous video, we learned about a synchronization mechanism or locking mechanism called lock guard, and we also saw the problem with the lock guard. Now in this video, with the help of this unique lock, how we can solve that problem, we will see that. Okay, so let's begin. So here I have a simple program where in main thread we are creating a child thread, and this child thread perform some addition operation and prints the result. And here in main thread also what we are doing some printing operation. So this std out, which is used to print the value on the console, is shared resource between this main thread and child thread. So to avoid the race condition for using this shared resource, what we are doing, we are locking the mutex, and then we are using this shared resource over here. So here what will happen, whenever we'll try to use this shared resource, it will first acquire the lock and then it will perform this printing operation. So it will avoid the race condition, but the problem with this code is, suppose I want to unlock this mutex. So I want to unlock the mutex. I want to unlock the mutex, and then again what I want to do, I want to perform some other operation called subtraction, and again when I want to print the result, again I want to lock the mutex and then perform the printing operation. So whenever we want, we can unlock the mutex and lock the mutex. This operation is not possible in case of this lock guard, because when you use lock guard you can lock the resource only once or unlock the resource only once. Okay, so it is one time locking mechanism. You cannot lock multiple times, unlock it like this. So to achieve this kind of operation, we use unique lock. So we'll say we'll use unique lock now, and we'll see how we can achieve that. Okay, so here now, first what I am doing, when I am printing, I am acquiring this unique lock, and then I am printing the result, and then again what I'll say unlock the mutex, I'll unlock it, and then again I'll perform some operation, and then again when I want to use this shared resource, I'll say lock the mutex. So like this, with the help of this unique lock, you can acquire or release the lock as many times you want. Okay, so this is the one use case of unique lock. So now we'll see another use case. Now suppose you want to lock the mutex for a some particular amount of time. So for that we'll use mutex called timed mutex, and here also you have to pass the mutex as timed timed mutex, and here you can pass the duration for which it should hold the lock. So here I want to acquire the lock for 800 millisecond. So with the help of this unique lock, you can mention the time duration like this. You can mention the time duration with millisecond or second or nanosecond. Okay, so this is another use case of or advantage of using unique lock, where you can mention the time duration, whatever time duration you want. Okay, one thing is that this unique lock is not copy assignable or copy. constructible. What do I mean by this is, suppose you have a mutex lock. Suppose you have a two lock, lock 1 and lock 2, and what you want to do is you want to assign this lock 1 to lock 1. So this is not possible because you cannot copy assign or copy construct the unique lock, but you can perform the move operation on this unique lock. So you can, what you can do, you can move the lock to another lock. Okay, so this is possible. So unique lock is move constructible and move assignable, but it is not copy assignable and copy constructible. Okay, this is the one disadvantage, or this is how you have to assign the lock to another lock. Okay, so now another problem with this unique lock we'll see, that is called deadlock when you use unique lock. So here I have a main, and then in this main thread we are creating two child thread, and one will be printing odd number, another will be printing even number, and this print even number is having this print even function defined, and this odd number thread is having this print odd function defined. So in this both print odd and print even function, what we are doing, we are acquiring two mutex lock. So suppose one is just for processing purpose and another is for some security or authentication purpose. So what we are doing in print odd, we are first acquiring mutex 1 and then we are acquiring mutex 2. But in print even, what we are doing, we are acquiring mutex 2 first and then we are acquiring mutex 1. So now let's see what is the problem with this program. So let's run it. So now if you see, first this odd number thread has started and it started printing these odd values. So what happened while printing all the odd values, it has got stuck. So it has printed till 413, and when it try to print this odd 415, at that time what happened, so suppose what happened, this odd number thread acquired this lock 1, basically this mutex 1, and in between what had happened is this print even thread also started and this acquired this mutex 2. So what will happen in case of this print odd, when it tried to acquire this mutex 2, which is already acquired by this print even thread, at that time what will happen, it has to wait for this mutex to get released by this print even, and same thing will happen over here. This print even has to wait for this print odd thread to unlock this mutex 1. So what is happening, both of these thread are waiting for the mutex to get released. So this is a deadlock situation where the mutex will not get released forever. Okay, so whenever you have to acquire multiple locks, you have to acquire in the same order. So first the order in which you are acquiring the mutex lock in one thread, same order has to be maintained in other thread also. So if you now acquire the lock in the same order, then it should solve the problem of deadlock. Okay, so now if I run the program, Now you can see all the values, this all the even numbers are printed and all the odd numbers are printed. So same order has to be maintained if you want to acquire multiple locks, and same thing you can achieve other way, that is called passing the another argument to this, so called defer lock, and everywhere you have to pass this argument. So what this deferred means, it will just create the lock, it will not acquire it. When you say defer, it will say just create the lock. So to acquire it, you have to use a function called std lock and say lock 1 comma lock 2. So now what will happen, same goes over here. So now if you change the order, like you acquire 2 first and then 1, so it doesn't matter, because here just the lock will get created and now we are acquiring both the mutex at the same time. So both lock will be acquired, or both mutex will be acquired at the same time. So the order does not matter over here. Okay, so this is how you can solve the problem of deadlock. Okay, so now if I run this program, now also it is printing all the odd numbers and all the even numbers. So this is all about unique lock, and in next video we are going to learn about a another concept called condition variable, which is useful for threading. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button.